Aquarius, your week commencing the 28th of April forecast is seeing the power of that lunation really ricocheting around the heavens. The fourth house is about our environment, but our environment and our relationship to it can change from each Aquarius person because Aquarius people are uniquely individual. So for some Aquarius people, the perfect environment could be somewhere very quiet and tranquil. Fourth house, very embalming, a kind of Cancerian feel. So maybe by water, maybe peaceful, maybe a very idyllic kind of environment. But for another Aquarius person, that could be an anathema and needs a lot of spark and interaction and noise and sound and stimulation. We're all different. But the thing we can't change with the fourth house is our relationship with our inner environment. And that's what the new moon's asking you to consider. What is that relationship with that deeper part of you? Because being an air sign and being prone to be quite logical, maybe a little quirky at times, Aquarius people can be a bit detached from the emotional dimension. So the new moon is asking us really to get in touch with how it feels deep within us, because that's where our true emotional home is, not necessarily where we're located. What the location does is provide stimulation or irritation in turn that we then respond to, and that feeds into that inner sanctum, if you like. Because Pluto in your first house, particularly if you're born early in Aquarius, is a huge deal because it's about transforming the very body and your uniqueness, but that has come into a direct opposition with Mars in the part of your chart to do with being more combative, setting boundaries, and perhaps even reaching out around relationships. And it's been building up on this phase since the 18th of April. It just reached its peak towards the end of last week. In fact, it goes back as being there on the 3rd of January. So it's one of those influences that sets the tone for the whole year for Aquarius people, finding the balance between the individual part of our nature, but how we connect to others, how successfully we can do that. And because they're both very strident influences, it's a hard one, it's a juggle. So there is going to be some highly charged scenes this year. However, your traditional ruler Saturn has also been shadowing in a rather sort of like serious way. Now come this way, my dear, to Venus from the 19th of January initially, and then again more recently in April, all through the month, but twice exactly. And Venus can be about money, but it can also be about our values. It can be about our self-worth, but it can also be what we're attached to. And Saturn may have brought some coolness to all those areas. But Venus moves at the heart of this week, and it moves into the fire sign of Aries. Now in technical astrology, Venus is debilitated here, but I can assure you this will be very good, because what Venus moving into Aries does is bring passion because of the fire and the oxygen that comes from Pluto in the early degrees of your sign, linking back to Venus, means that how you articulate yourself latterly in the week will be much better, I feel, much more integrated than it may be at the start of the week, because you can start to have the dialogue or feed the ideas in or hear the viewpoints of others. And there is the potential for some healing, to be honest, because Neptune is the healer. The third house is how we think, and it can be around how we express ourselves. But Venus is about desire, but I feel that Venus connection to Neptune is a great platform to express in a way which has proved very challenging. It's possible that Venus's alliance with Saturn has in some ways dimmed your confidence at times in the early part of this year, despite Pluto being, full-time in Aquarius. Now, by the end of the week, Pluto does go into its retrograde for 5 months. So it's going to be deep work for all Aquarius people, but the deep work of Pluto being in the 12th house in Capricorn, oh my, that's much tougher. The 12th house is about the more psychological domain. The first house is about our identity, and it's our identity which could go through quite an intense review over those 5 months. But as the week draws to a close, the quarter moon in Leo, the sector of relating, can bring more clarity to something that was highly charged right at the start of the week. But the key for the whole of this week is getting more closely in touch with that inner world and not being so caught up with what's going on immediately around us. Please check out my new website at patrickarundell.com. There are loads of cosmic goodies there for you to enjoy. You can download your free natal birth chart, sign up for your free daily written horoscope, or your daily moon natal horoscope based on your unique birth data. Love horoscopes are back, and also there's my long-standing amazing three-card tarot. patrickarundell.com. Please see the link below for more.